Welcome to the Kingdom of Corner. We are your co-host. I'm Andrew. This is Dale.
Let's go.
We're just your average pastor fans who love
Yeah.
the Chiefs and love people too. So all those good things. But today we're going to be breaking down this Chiefs and Chargers game. So
Right.
as much as we like to be positive people, I hope we can maintain that throughout this, Dale. That might be a little difficult at times, though.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be tough, but hey, that's the game one.
That's
There's
right.
16 there's 16 more games. We're going 15-2.
That's right. That's right. Hey, I think before we started the season, we predicted in our last episode that we would. I think we both predicted 14-3.
That's
So
right.
maybe we just picked the wrong game. So,
Yep.
but I'd take 14-3 as well too. So, but hey, before we get too far into this, make sure you like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We want to make sure we get all this great content out. So if you enjoy this, make sure you do all those good things. And make sure you leave us a great review too. That helps us out
Yeah.
much more than you think. So, in this episode, we're going to be looking at that Chargers matchup in Brazil. What went well? What didn't go well? Uh, can anything be changed, or is this just who we are this season? And how
Yeah.
concerned should we really be with all these things? And maybe this, should Brett Veach be looking for anybody else?
Oh
So,
yeah.
all this and more coming up. So, coming out with us.
Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback cut. It is caught by Kelsey. Touchdown! Kansas City. The game is over. The Kansas City Chiefs are champions.
All right, Dale, let's get into this. So, there's no easy way to jump into a game like
No.
that. You go into the
No.
season expectations high, thinking, man, this is going to be a great year. We got one of the deepest wide receiver rooms we think that Mahomes has had at
Yeah.
least. And then Rashid Rice gets suspended to start the year. Xavier Worthy gets injured, third play of the game, and it just all seems to go down
Yep.
from there.
Right. It does. And man, but hey, again, like I just said earlier, with a long season, we'll see what the boys do and how they bounce back. I mean, a tough challenge this coming Sunday, which we'll talk about here in a couple days, but a tough challenge for the Eagles coming in. So, but we're here to talk about the Chargers. Can we just say the Chargers played unreal?
Yeah.
They had a game plan and they executed to their credit. That was probably the best I've ever seen Justin Herbert play in total.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So, as much as we're going to say about the Chiefs and what they should or
Right.
shouldn't have done and how they could or could not have won, hats off to the Chargers. They played a great game and the Chiefs did not. But with all that said, we went into this season, I mean, we were expecting high flying offense. I mean, I made a bold prediction that the Chiefs were going to have a top five offense this year. And then we start the game and we have conservative play after conservative play to start the game. I mean, I understand maybe you run the ball to start the game, just
Right.
kind of get your feet under you, whatever. Maybe, a screen pass just to get something rolling. But then 2, 3 plays in, you're taking shots because this is what we've been hearing all
Right.
offseason. We're going to be a high flying offense again. The big play is back.
Yeah.
And Dale, I don't know if you noticed, but that first series or two, they didn't even take a shot at a big play. And maybe the Chargers heard that too and they took it away.
Right.
Right? I haven't seen the all 22, but maybe that was the case. But it just seemed like a very conservative play call to start the game.
Yeah, it did, and I think it was probably kind of disheartening. They didn't open it up right away and just hey, we're gonna go. But I mean, with the commentators and hearing Andy Reid say, "Hey, we're going to get Xavier Worthy more involved in the game," I think they were trying to. I mean, which I'm all for. I mean, I love Xavier Worthy, but I think when you make that a focus instead of just coming natural and like, "Hey, this position, let's." I mean, like those. What are those jet sweeps he does? I mean, they're
Yeah.
if he gets a running start, he is so fast that it's hard to get. And so I think like doing one of those, maybe getting them early, but yeah, just I think picking your spots. But I think they focused way too much on their 15 scripted plays or whatever. We're just like, let's get everybody involved so everyone can be happy. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, and to that too, Xavier Worthy got hurt on like the third play of the game. And so first off, the Chiefs didn't even have a third down conversion until the second half, unless maybe it's at the very end of the first half, but it was way late into the game. But the third play of the game, Xavier Worthy and Travis Kelce collide over the middle. And this is really something that we talked about when they drafted Xavier Worthy is,
Yep.
does he have the body to handle those NFL hits? And I understand. We're talking about a guy, an Xavier Worthy, who's 180 pounds, something like that.
Yes.
And, Travis Kelce, who's probably 260, 70 pounds, somewhere around
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this is a big difference in men colliding. And
Yeah.
Travis Kelce, I mean, I don't know that he was even pushed off his route when he hit Xavier Worthy, right? So mine's like, oh man, there's a bump, but Xavier Worthy did like a helicopter spin to the
Oh,
ground
yeah.
with that hit.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to make too light of it, although I am a little bit. But the point is, like, Xavier Worthy's such a small guy
Mhm.
that those kind of hits, can have a much bigger impact than like if Juju were to
Right.
run into him, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Both guys would have taken a little bit more of that hit, but Juju, I think, might have been out of Sears and come back in the next series.
Yeah. And right now, Xavier Worthy is day to day, and just seeing
Yeah,
where
I
he's at.
saw that.
So dislocated shoulder, day to day. I saw one report that they're hoping he can play with a brace, which cannot be very uncomfortable. So hopefully, it's not too bad where he's going to have surgery in the off season or surgery in the middle of the season. But hopefully, it's just sore, super sore.
Yeah. Well, I feel like based on what that was, and it looked like a dislocated
Yeah.
what? Yeah, that
Shoulder,
word.
shoulder.
Shoulder. There you go.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, shoulder. English is hard sometimes,
It
but
is.
shoulder. It looked like that. Even in live play, I thought, man, that looked like a dislocated shoulder.
Uh-huh.
And so I feel like this is the best possible outcome of day to day, because sometimes
Right.
you dislocate that, you could be out for months. So
Right.
best possible outcome for Xavier Worthy here, and we do hope that he heals well, more than even beyond football, to just have a
Yeah. Quality of life.
yeah, exactly. So, although that's sometimes hard to do playing the NFL when your body gets all those hits.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, when Xavier Worthy went out there, game plan had to change, and it looked like it, because they struggled on offense in that first half, especially. I mean, they couldn't
yeah.
get a third down, they couldn't get a first down to save their life. I mean, it was hard to watch that first
Yeah.
little bit.
Oh yeah, it was tough, and we couldn't get the run game going, and that's probably the biggest thing that I noticed is like Patrick Mahomes. I know he uses his legs, and he uses them in usually more in the playoffs than in the regular season, but he cannot be our leading rusher in the games. Like, I mean, just can't have it, right? And I know we were down and we were trying to come back, and so that allows us to pass. We're passing more than we are running or sticking to the game plan, but still, like, we got to protect 15 at all costs, especially or so early on in the season. But I mean, I tell you what, that Brazil fans and just the atmosphere felt like a playoff game. It felt huge, and credit to
Yeah.
Brazil. I mean, I don't know how what your thoughts are on flying all the way down there and then get on a bus and drive in 2 hours to the stadium, but it seemed like a lot for a first game. But it was still, I guess, cool for the Brazilians down there.
Well, I completely understand why, like we talked about in the last
Yeah.
episode. I understand why the NFL does this. It helps expand their brand, helps bring in new fans from other countries, and just lets them be able to see games live in their own countries to kind of bring them into the game a little bit more and get some buy-in. But I don't mind that at all, playing overseas and things like that. But
Yeah.
I do think, I don't know, the first game, it seems kind of big to play overseas, but at the same point, maybe it's easier to play that first one overseas on a Friday
Yeah.
so you can get back and have a little bit more time to rest too. So there's, I don't know, kind of both sides to that. But the other part of the game that really struggled, which surprised me a little bit, was the defense. Now, that I've been saying for a while that I thought the secondary was going to take a
Oh,
big
yeah.
step back.
Yep.
That's not a secret. So they kind of played like I thought they would, but even worse, really. But to that extent, like the defense I think any NFL team could have scored against that defense. Those guys were so wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, I even tweeted out at one point, I said, I think I could catch the ball on this offense with the Chargers, because those guys don't seem to be. No, that's not true at all. But
Yeah.
but it just seemed like those guys were so wide open that there was
Yeah.
no defender within 5 to 10 yards of those guys sometimes, and so they could easily gain 10 or 15 yards every time they caught the ball because they wouldn't
Right.
even be touched for 10 or 15 yards.
Yeah. And I think so not to make excuses, we're not about a podcast making excuses, but I do think like one of the things was the fact that, man, the defense, you don't get a hit in training camp really, or you don't want to hit in training camp because, you're going to hurt your players. And so I do think like all defenses across the league are kind of behind the eight ball for at least the first couple weeks. And then I think they start ramping up, speeding up, catching their, be able to catch their breath and really laid the wood to some people because I felt like all defenses across the league were like giving up points. I mean, even the Buffalo and Ravens game last night where it was high scoring. And both those teams have pretty good defenses, and they couldn't, stop each other. And so I don't know if it's the rules, I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's like, hey, let's give Spags a few weeks here, figure it out, and see what we got.
Yeah, those are all valid points too. I think that does play a big role. But I'll tell you one person who did not forget how to hit is Patrick Mahomes.
That's
I don't
right.
know if you saw that truck hit, and there's a lot
Oh
of people
yeah.
saying, and you probably heard this too. A lot of
Oh
people
yeah.
were saying, well, the only reason he got to hit that defender like that is because he thought he was going to go out of bounds and he didn't. And now someone's just going to come through and really late Patrick Mahomes out at some point. I don't necessarily buy that. If you
No.
watch that play, that
Yeah.
defender, first off, he was coming off a block, so he's a little bit off balance
Uh-huh.
anyways. He knew it was coming. He saw
Yeah.
it coming. He just
Yeah.
couldn't do anything about it because Mahomes caught him off balance. And that's how
Yeah.
you get those big hits in the NFL when you catch somebody unsuspecting or off balance and, you're able to really lay into him at that moment. So, but Mahomes still bringing it. So it reminded me a lot of that play last year against the 49ers when he
Yep.
ran into the end zone for that
Oh yeah.
touchdown and threw that defender back. So I like seeing that. So Mahomes looked good, and we'll get more into that here in a second too. But
Yeah.
yeah, our defense, I'll tell you, I said this and said this and said this.
Yeah.
And there's people, maybe even somebody on this podcast, I don't know, we'll see, who said, Andrew, you're just overreacting. You don't know what you're talking about. I said Justin
Bingo.
Reid missing him is going to play a huge role in this defense because he was such a team leader back there, got everybody in their positions, kept
Yeah.
everybody accountable. Not having him through training camp, not having him on the team period is
Right.
going to be a big hole, and I think we saw that in Friday's game. I even tweet out, "This is what a Justin Reid less defense looks like."
Yeah. And yeah, yeah. I just don't. I'm with you. It looked different, and I think it's going to take the boys, a couple games to figure it out. And I think they'll be better after week 8. That's my prediction. If they're still
Yeah,
struggling, I think week 8 have it all figured out. The boys will be running around and making hits. I mean, Hicks looked good. Poor
yeah.
McDuffie looked lost. He was. They
Well,
were.
the
Yeah.
person in the secondary who looked the most lost was Shamari Connor.
Yeah.
That guy
Oh
just
yeah.
he, and I'm not trying to throw shade at him, but he just
No.
looked like
No.
he didn't know what was going on. Just
Right.
head was swiveling back and forth, not sure who to cover, not sure who to be watching, and just
Yeah.
and they got him several times because of it too.
Yeah. And I think the athleticism of our linebackers doesn't help either. They're athletes for sure, but they're not like we. I mean, I know I banged the drum about losing Willie Gay a couple years ago, and I still think we are very slow in the linebacking core. I mean, I know Nick Bolton is going to be in the right spot at the right time. Drew Tranquil will give you every effort he can give. Leo Chanel could lift an entire deep offensive line if he wanted to at one time, but I just still think like that speed and those different just coverage at tight ends. I mean, I feel like the tight end exposed us again, like we did last year.
Well, I felt like everybody exposed us in this game. I mean,
So
I mean, I
are there
saw
any
it.
positive? Are there any
I
positives on the
Well, hold on.
defense?
There's
Okay.
I did see at one point during the game they said something along the lines of how many times the wide receivers were
Yeah. Yeah.
targeted by
Uh-huh.
Justin Herbert, and they said it was the highest of Justin Herbert's career,
Yeah.
targeting wide receivers versus his running backs and tight ends.
Yeah.
And so everybody was getting open. It wasn't just the tight ends.
No.
And
No.
I
No.
know to your
Yeah.
point, yes, the tight ends got open too, but
Yeah.
anybody who wanted to get open got open is what
Yeah.
really happened. So, but there are some positives from the defense as well, but uh, not many. Not many.
Yeah.
Because
We still have a lot of problems, don't we?
their defense is in more trouble than any other part of the team.
Okay.
So,
So
and
what? So what is?
I'm not saying they can't correct it.
Okay.
Just
All right.
because they can't cover in the secondary. I
Okay.
thought they were going to be able to create more pressure. They brought in more guys, drafted guys specifically for this.
Yeah.
Still can't create pressure. They think
Okay.
that hey, Chris Jones will be double teamed, everybody else 1-on-1, you'll be able to win.
Right.
Nobody's winning.
Yeah.
Same as last year. We can't get pressure unless we're blitzing, and that is not a winning formula. Yes, it'll work at times, but when you go against the elite quarterbacks, they know how to read those blitzes and get it out fast, and that doesn't work out well for you. So, I mean, that's got to be something that's got to be addressed.
Yeah.
But as far as the defense goes, the good is we still have Chris Jones, and the times that he does get single coverage,
Yeah.
he looks really good, but he just
Yeah.
doesn't get that very often. Now he was out of position on that very last play. He even
Mm.
admitted to that,
Yeah.
and I'm sure we'll talk about that more here at the end as we wrap up the game. But yeah, there's not many positives on the defensive side. There's a few players that look good, but overall,
Yeah.
not many positives. Did you
Yeah.
see any
Yeah.
positives for the defense?
No.
Yeah, so that's
No.
kind of where I'm at. I just saw
No.
a few players that looked like they were doing good, but not
Yeah.
as a whole. Your defense, especially in a Spags defense, you have to play so well together for your defense to be good, and they were not.
Well,
And, and they'll clean some of that up.
if you're going to be terrible in the pass game, at least be excellent in the run game. Right? That's
Well,
all. And I do know but they really didn't run very much. But it seemed like when they did run, I wonder what that guy averaged. I mean, I feel like that Hampton kid, he was like
yeah.
averaging, he was like Jamal Charles out there.
Well, I'll tell you this though, the run defense was good. I will give you that. So
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs' run defense did fairly good.
Yeah.
They only gave up 90 yards of rushing total, which, in fairness, they didn't run it that many times.
Right.
But they had 25 rushing attempts, the Chargers did, and averaged 3.6 yards a carry.
Okay.
And that was including, all the scrambles and all those other
Yeah.
things as well. So, but
Yeah.
the guy you're talking about, Omarion Hampton, averaged
Uh-huh.
3.2 yards a carry. So, Najee Harris only ran at one time but had 5 yards, and Justin Herbert averaged 4.6 yards a carry. This is
Yeah.
the most I've ever seen Justin Herbert run in a game. So he used it to his full advantage too, and
Yeah.
caught us
That was
looking many
the
times.
most consistent from start to finish I've seen him play.
Yeah, it
Easily.
legitimately might have been the best game of his career. And I'm not saying that just because
Yeah.
of the outcome. I think he played that good of a game. He
Yeah.
really did.
Just start to finish, he played great. And kudos to him. Kudos. So hats off.
Yeah. I mean,
So we're 7-2.
that's right. Now we're 7-2 against him. So yeah, we'll do. But the other thing that's got to be addressed is the run game, as you kind of alluded to earlier. We only had 11 design runs if you don't include the Patrick Mahomes scrambles.
Right.
11, and we threw the
Yeah.
ball like 36 times, something like
Yeah.
that. That is not a balanced attack.
No.
And I think part of the problem is we talk about this going into the season. Our running back room is not deep.
Nope.
I thought Pacheco, and I think both of us did, we thought Pacheco would come out with a little bit more fire.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he didn't have passion, but we thought that he'd be running a little bit better, kind of, as a redemption year, so to speak, after his
Yeah.
injury last year. And, I mean, he had a couple, decent runs, but overall just average at best.
Average
So
of best. 20. I think he had 25 yards. He had 5.5 yards a carry, but he only had 5 carries though.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? And then I think like Elijah Mitchell, we didn't see him one time. I mean, maybe he was on the field, but he never got a carry. And so yeah. And then Kareem Hunt had 5 carries.
Somebody on this podcast said that Elijah Mitchell is going to be getting some looks, and another person on this side of the podcast said the time for looks is over. This is the regular season.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's not
Yeah.
he's not going to get a lot of looks most of the year. Not that he won't get some, but all those guys are probably going to get some at some point. But he's not going to be your everyday
Yeah.
guy, Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. But That's something that's got to be addressed, is that run game. But to that run game too, our offensive line, that stuff
Oof.
something's got to give. So let me ask you this to start with. What did
All
you
right.
think about our rookie left tackle and Kingsley starting at left guard? How do you think they did?
Yeah. So our left tackle and Kingsley, I both thought did fine. And like I think you said, is it's going to take them a while to kind of figure out game speed and things like that. And so they made some
Yeah.
mistakes for sure. Where I know Simmons had a false start, and I think it was this, it was a lot going on, and he did pretty well. Besides, better than our right tackle did, which I'm sure we'll get into. Uh,
Yep.
but I still think like. Kingsley still let some pressure in, and I think that's going to be a problem. Pat, I thought was on the ground too much for the first game, and so and under duress. And I was like, we got to clean some of that up if we're going to have a shot at a legitimate Super Bowl run here this year.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we talked about going into the game, is how many sacks they were even going to get, and so forth. But I thought they did pretty well too,
Yeah, yeah,
as well as could have been expected of them, especially in new positions. I thought that's what they did. They
yeah,
they weren't excellent. They weren't just off the charts, or man, just really pop on the screen like, wow, that guy's legitimate. But they both did adequate.
yeah.
So, and that's, I don't know, maybe as much as you could really expect from first year starters in those positions
Right.
in the NFL. So,
Yep.
but yeah, Jawante at the right tackle. I mean, that guy, mid-season form, time after time,
Oh
still
man.
getting false starts, still getting hold.
Yeah.
So I know maybe you think you're being picked on. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But here's the thing: if you know it's happening, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Figure it out.
Because I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to jump the snap a little bit. He's trying to time Mahomes' rhythm and time
Yeah.
when Mahomes is snapping the ball and going to say it so that he can get a jump on these pass rushers. First
Sure.
off, as an offensive lineman, you already have a step on him because you know the count. You know
Yep.
if he's going to snap it on, 2, 3, or whatever it is. And so you know that. And instead of waiting for him to actually say it and then go, you're just anticipating it and trying to go.
Right.
And it's getting him in trouble time and time again. He needs just to be told, hey, do not move
Right.
until you hear him snap that. And you even saw Travis Kelsey got in his face.
Oh yeah.
First time I've seen Travis Kelsey do that to him. And it's because it happened in such an intense moment where they're
Right.
trying at the end of that first half. And actually, I think it was even the second half because it was after
Yeah.
his second or third one. And he's, when your offense is struggling anyways because Rice is out, because Worthy's out, and because you're trying to change your game plan mid-game with all those
Right.
injuries, you
Yep.
can't afford to keep losing 5 yards after 5 yards after 5 yards. I
No.
might give you one false start over, I don't know, 5, 6 games, but I'm not going to give you 5 false starts in one game. It's not happening.
No. And a hold, and yeah, just a lot of things. And I mean, last time we saw Travis Kelsey that fired up, he knocked over Big Red.
That's
Uh,
right. That's right.
so, yeah, I just
So
think like, what in the world are we doing? And hopefully he'll get cleaned up. We're gonna have to clean it up, or it's not gonna be a good year for the Kansas City Chiefs.
honestly, if that's how he's going to play, I say give Jalen Moore a shot
Yeah,
because let's at least see what he's got.
right, right, right.
Maybe I don't care if Jawan Taylor is one of your highest paid offensive linemen, which he is. I think when the Chiefs signed him, they made him the highest paid right tackle
Right,
in the league.
right.
So and maybe they thought they were signing him that because he might move over to left tackle, but either way, he's at right tackle, and at the time is the highest paid right tackle in the league. Might still be, I don't know, but
Yeah,
because of that, though, it doesn't matter what you're paying him. If he's not performing on the field, get him on the bench. That's all. I'm not going to keep beating this dead horse, but something's got to give. And right now, he's doing the same thing over and over, and he's
yeah,
costing us legitimate yards and potentially games at some point this year.
yeah. It's tough, and like you said, like when you get behind it, or when you just get behind the sticks, even before you start your series, because of a false start or because of a hold, instead of first and 10, it's 1 and 15, or first and 15, or first and 20. And you're like, all right, now we got to change our whole game plan. then you're kind of coming out of desperation instead of like, hey, let's stay on schedule here, 3 yards here, 5 yards there. Now it's 3rd and 2. Let's get it, and keep moving. So it's kind of what the Chiefs have done the past couple of years. And so, but when you start back, you got to play clean football. And so that's all we ask. Clean football. It's not too much,
Yeah.
is it?
I mean, at the professional level, I wouldn't think so.
No.
So, I mean, we saw, I'm trying to remember what game it was. I was watching the game this weekend. I think it was the Jets game, which ended up being a pretty good game. They
Game
were
of
playing
yeah.
the Jets and Steelers, and they had a stat that pop up there that said like undisciplined
Yeah.
penalties and stuff against the Jets, and it was like some of the most penalized. I believe it was the Jets, but it might have been another team. And I thought, man, I wonder what Jawan Taylor's stat line is for that compared to just players across the league, not teams,
Right.
but just a player.
Yeah.
Because as far as offensive lineman goes, he's got to be up there. So if he's
Oh,
not number one across the offensive line over the last 3 years, he's number
yeah.
two.
Oh, yeah. For sure. And I'm sure Andy Reid and is it Heck? Who's
Yeah.
Andy
Andy
Heck is
Heck. Yep.
I'm sure they're working with him, talking to him, having those hard conversations. It's Monday right now. They're back in the office and getting ready for the Eagles, and so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some good things. So we
All
talked about all
right,
these
I love
bad
good
things.
things.
Let's
Yes.
let's end on some good notes and then some good questions too. So, but let's talk
Yeah.
about some good things. So some of the good things we talked. So we talked about the offense starting slow, but then the offense started finding their rhythm. Once
Yeah.
Xavier Worthy was out, they kind of had to adjust, and Hollywood Brown stepped in a big way.
Yep.
Travis Kelsey looked good.
Looks so good. He
Patrick
looked five.
Mahomes,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
Patrick Mahomes looked like he's playoff ready.
yeah.
I mean, we saw some Mahomes magic. We saw one play where he's right at the line of scrimmage and flips it over everybody to a guy. Just, I mean, play after play after play. Mahomes is doing everything he can to win that game, and that guy looks good. He
Yeah.
came into the season ready.
He is ready. They're on a mission for sure. You can tell. At least those two guys are on a mission. I don't know about everybody else, but they're going to get them on the mission as well. So,
Yep.
um,
Yeah, because I was told going into the season that they're coming with a chip on their shoulder and that they're ready to go, and I didn't see that this first game outside of a handful of players. So, but to your point, yeah, I think they're going to get them there.
yeah, they're going to get him there. And so, yeah, Travis Kelsey looked thin, nimble, running out there, and he's always a big Charger killer. But
Yep.
yeah, I just think he's doing good. Felt like Hollywood was really good. Juju he's sure-handed. I love Juju
Hmm.
Smith-Schuster. I know a lot of
Yep.
people didn't like him with the TikTok stuff, but man, he's looking good as well and stepping up. And
We're big fans of him on this podcast.
yeah, I think where he has like shown me where just how unselfish he is,
Yep.
blocking, not being the number 3 or number 2 guy, and just being okay with it.
Yep. Hey, we'll throw us out there, Juju, if you are listening to this, which I'm sure you are. Hey, you have a free invitation to join us on this
Come
podcast
on.
anytime, because I'm telling you, this might be the most Juju friendly
Oh
podcast
yeah,
out there. We love Juju
Juju.
Smith Schuster.
Yeah,
I honestly believe this. I don't know that there is a wide receiver in the NFL that's more of a team player than Juju.
yeah.
I hands down believe that.
And doesn't
So-
get talked about.
No, and he doesn't care. He's just like,
Yeah.
I'm here to win. I'm here to do whatever
Right.
I can to help my team win. He does the dirty blocking. So, anyways, this is a Juju podcast, but love Juju Smith-Schuster. Love that he's on the team. He can be a part of this team for as long as his body's able to.
There
So,
you go. Yeah. All right, let's talk about the play of the year.
oh yeah, let's do it. I love this. Love this play.
This
At the
may
end
be
of the-
no, I'm not joking. This may be the top 5 play of the year.
yeah, the
I
field
mean,
goal
not
at the end
yeah,
of the half,
the field
right?
goal at the end of the half. Not talking about just the Chiefs. I'm talking about the NFL.
Yeah,
So, because for the time, no timeouts to go down and get a score was incredible, and for the field goal team to get out there in that amount of time, Bucker. I mean, he didn't even have his normal setup and just walk out there and kick a 60-yard
yeah.
or was it 60 or
59.
59-yard field goal like it
Yeah.
was nothing.
Well, and yeah, and it's one thing to do that for a 20-yarder, 30-yarder,
Yeah.
maybe
Oh, yeah.
even, a 45-yarder. I mean, those ones are long and difficult too. None of that's easy by any means. But a 59-yarder is not something you just go out and kick every day.
No.
And it might be more this year because one of the things that they changed this year in the rules is that It used to be you were given the game balls you're going to be using for kicking like 2 hours before kickoff. And
Right.
so you could do whatever you wanted to do to try to break those things in 2 hours. And this year they're allowing you to have some designated game balls for the whole year to bring
Yeah.
with you,
Right.
which I'm sure will be checked before each game as well too. But having those balls that are a little bit more broken in, you
Yep.
might be seeing some longer field goals across the whole
Right.
league this year. But to your point, that was incredible.
Yeah.
59 yarders. And, you know, when they went down with the ball to Noah Gray, he handed it right to the official. There's maybe 10 seconds, maybe less
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah. And they got out there and man, then walked into halftime with uh down 7. I think it was 13
Yeah, it's 13-6 at that
6.
time.
Yep.
Yep.
So 13-6. So down a
Hey,
few scores.
honest question. Did you think they're going to get that off when they were running on to kick
Oh
it?
no. Heavens no.
I didn't either.
No.
When they were setting up and there's like 4 seconds left or something like
Yeah.
that, and there's still guys moving a little bit, I thought they're not going to get this off. And in a matter of 1 second from thinking that, they were all set and snapped it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's incredible.
It was.
Incredible.
And I'm sure they practice that in training camp and all that. So, but yeah, it'll be it's gonna be a fun year. It's gonna be a roller coaster year, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the end of the game real quick too. So we
Okay.
talked about good and bad, but this can be a little bit of both. So all those things happened, but the thing that was not the thing, but one of the
Right.
big things in the game that changed the game was the missed extra point.
Yeah.
And then they try to go for two later on. I mean, those points there
Just add up. Yeah.
potentially cost us the game. Not saying they
Yeah.
did, but potentially, because at that point, if they had those points, they go down and they're trying to just kick or try to score a touchdown at the end of the game to tie or
Yep.
potentially win with a 2-point conversion.
Yep.
But instead, we know we're 2 possessions behind now, and so we settle for the field goal in that instance, and now we're trying to get it
Yeah.
back, which we never did. And, you know, the defense stepped up there in the second half. They played better. I'm not going to say great, but they played better. They at least got a couple stops there.
Yep.
But that last drive, they had a couple of big plays. They were able to get a couple sacks there. And then Justin Herbert with the daggers, he runs outside when Chris Jones
Yep.
lines up on the DN and goes inside and leaves that lane wide open for him. So,
Oh, yeah.
and again, you saw tempers flare and some conversations being had between Drew Tranquil and Chris Jones. And
Yeah.
just, you know, Drew Tranquil's just yelling at him, "Do your job, man. Do your
Right.
job." And
Yeah. Because of you, yeah.
legitimately deserved to be told that.
Oh yeah. And I think like you leave the linebackers you leave them out to dry when you do that, when you don't fill your lane or do your assignment. And so you leave them out to dry, look like the bad guys, and really it was your fault. But hey, the boys are going to get it figured out. They're going to figure it out. Don't worry.
That's right. That's right. So here's the question that we all
All right.
have to ask now or answer. How concerned should we be as Chiefs fans going forward? Is this going to be something I'm not saying they're not going to win games.
All right.
That's not the question. The question
Yeah.
is, how long is it going to take for them to find their gear and to have
Yeah.
a decent defense? I'm not saying top 5 defense. I'm just saying, how long is it going to be before they're able to not have wide open players? How long is it going to be before the offense can get rolling for the whole game and actually have a lead in the game at some point? So how concerned should we be considering those things?
I said it's going to take us 6 games.
All right. So your scale of 1 to 10 for the season, and the
Yeah.
goal is obviously the Super Bowl,
Sure.
right? So,
And not just the Super Bowl, but to win the Super Bowl.
yes, the goal is to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then, the steps or goals before that, AFC Championship,
Yeah.
potentially get the 1 seed. That would
Yeah.
be very beneficial. All those things. So, all those things in mind, scale of 1 to 10, how concerned should Chiefs fans be that all these things can be accomplished?
7.3.
Oh, that's how concerned we should be.
That's how concerned we should be.
That's pretty high. I thought you were gonna say like 4 or 5.
Oh,
No, it's like-
I don't know.
oh, man.
I don't know. I have a feeling, not a good feeling right now. And I think it's just the taste in my
it's-
mouth.
Yeah, I would agree. I think part of it is just the taste in our mouth of having that first
Right.
loss. That's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
play
yeah.
a huge role. But yeah, I mine's not gonna be much different. I'm gonna say
Okay.
a 6. So
Yeah, yeah. I think
there's
it's somewhere.
definitely more concern than not.
Yeah.
But things have got to be cleaned up if we want to win the Super Bowl. You're not
Right.
winning a Super Bowl with that defense, no matter who you play.
And I think right now we're going to see who we are. I mean, to play the Chargers, the Eagles, the Giants, and then the Ravens. I mean, we're going to see who we are pretty quick
Yeah.
and what we need to fix. And hopefully then we'll give Brett Veach time to go maybe fill some of these holes. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, that leads us into our last thing for today.
Yeah.
What, if anything, should Brett Veach be doing? Should he be looking for other players? Anybody potentially in mind? Or
Yeah, I would call the Honey Badger right now and say retirement sucks, right? Come
That's
on back,
right.
brother. Come on
That's
back.
right.
And I think I will agree with you where Justin Reid was good, and I think where he excelled at was his leadership. And so I would say like if and then when you have like two year players or rookies back there, like yeah, who's the leader? Who's the leader back there for the safeties and the secondary, right? Trent McDuffie, but like yeah, he hasn't been very vocal. He's not a very vocal guy. It doesn't seem like to me.
Yeah. The only problem with re-signing or signing Tyrann Matthew, he's still under contract with the
Oh, the
Saints.
Saints. Oh, he's still okay.
So yeah, he's got one more year on that deal, and so you'd have to negotiate a trade for that as well.
Oh, so you can't just retire and then like, oh, just joking, I'm coming back. Oh, you still owe the Saints unless they let go of his rights.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess they could, but
Yeah.
that's where we're standing right now. There'd have to be some kind of trade. He's got at least a year left on his contract,
Okay.
maybe
What
two.
about you?
So,
What do you think? You think we need to be looking for somebody, or you think we need to be doing
yes,
something? Okay.
yes, and I think I have to look. Is what's his name? Justin Simmons, is that his name? That safety, was it Justin, or I think it's somebody else?
Who do you play?
I know at one point he played for the Falcons.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Justin
There you-
Simmons. I was right. So
All right. Hey.
yeah, this is the guy I'd be looking at. He's also played for the Broncos as well.
Yeah.
But unless he signed with somebody recently, he's a free agent. He's 31 years old, so he's a little bit older. But you need some leadership back there. And
Yeah.
and Justin Simmons was, I wouldn't say elite, but top tier for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Player in his prime too. So yeah, maybe somebody like that. So somebody who you could get for a reasonable price as
Yeah.
well. I think that'd be a great addition. I don't know if you want to really sign an edge rusher who's not on a team, because if they're not on a team, they're
No.
probably too old,
Yeah.
But something's got to be done with that edge rushing. And I don't know if that's a coaching thing. I don't know if it's a player thing. I don't know. But
Yeah. I just think
something.
yeah. Something's got to be done, but we'll see. Well, let's not overreact. I mean, I know it's an overreaction Monday, but let's not overreact too much.
Yeah, I'll try not to. It's kind of hard at this point. So we have a losing record.
Well, I'll
We're
tell you what,
0-1,
brother. I felt
last in the division.
I felt pretty good before I came on this podcast. After this podcast, I feel worse.
Oh,
You're supposed to make me feel better.
Hey, I said you are supposed to feel better. I guess I shouldn't have asked the how do you feel at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Should
Maybe
have asked that at the beginning. Hey,
There you
I'll
go.
tell you this: the sky's not falling. It's only one game. The Chiefs are going to be all right.
Boom. Come on. 1-5 still
Well,
back there.
That's right. When you have 1-5, you have a chance.
That's right.
So hey,
That's right.
Do not leave this doom and gloom.
No.
The Chiefs are going to be okay. They are going to be in the playoffs. You can take that to the bank, put it on whatever you want to put it on, but they will be in the playoffs, and they will be competing for that 1 seed toward the end of the season as well. So
There you go.
hey, thanks for joining us this episode of the Kingdom Corner. We are so glad you joined us. This episode is brought to you by Oh Hey Threads.